I'm standing at the top of the motte in Richard's Castle, which is in Herefordshire. There's a bit of stonework on it. Not sure if you can see right down there, but this is a very high motte because that is quite a distance down there. The camera doesn't always pick up distances. This is probably one of the most important castles in England. The reason for that is it was built around 1050, along with a couple of other castles in this area, Ewyas Harold and Hereford Castle. Ewyas Harold is in a similar condition to this one, overgrown. I don't think it's got any stonework on it. Hereford Castle, I think the motte has been flattened, although the bailey's still there. They are all important castles because they're all pre-Norman conquest castles. Most people associate castles appearing in England with the Normans after 1066, and that is correct. But there were at least 4, maybe even 5 castles built before 1066. Another one is at Cleverling, which I think is just in Essex, or it's in the Essex-Hertfordshire border. That's not of a motte and bailey style, I don't believe. I think it's more of a an enclosure castle or ringwork. They were all built by Normans who came over to England with the future king Edward the Confessor. They'd supported him in his exile in Normandy, and when he came over to England he gifted them land which they built castles on. So there were castles in England before 1066. There is a book called England's First Castle by an author called, I think it's Terry Waddell. He has made a claim for a place called Burghill as being the first castle, but there is no archaeological evidence there today, and also local archaeologists and one castle author himself, Ron Shoesmith, they've all sort of debunked that idea. I've never actually been there. I have looked at it on LiDAR and things like that, and I couldn't see any evidence of a castle, although it has been heavily built over today, so there may not be any evidence at all. I mean, this has been kept remarkably clear, although it is significantly important because of that possibly being the first castle built in England. I'm not going that way, it's full of nettles, and I've got shorts on, and it was a bit stingy. I think I'll nip round this way instead. The Romans used to love nettles. They used to whip themselves with them. Used to get themselves the blood flowing and so on, I believe, after a good hot bath. I think a lot of the stonework that you can see here today was certainly put here on the 13th century, because it would have been a wooden castle originally, a wooden motte and bailey castle, and then it was made into stone. You can see the ditches there being dug out. There's a very historic looking old church there with a separate tower. I think it mentions a dovecot. Part of the castle may have been used as a dovecot. A dovecot, for those who don't know, is where they keep doves and pigeons, and then throughout the year they eat the young. Pigeons will keep coming back. They eventually went out of fashion, I think, because the price of corn and things like that went up drastically, and it was worth more to sell than to feed for a few pigeons just for some food. Yeah, this has been kept slightly clear, you can see where it's constantly wanting to try and cover the place. In order to get here you have to park on the other side of the church there, and then walk through 2 graveyards. There is a sign, a polite notice about walking round the graveyard and not over the graveyard. As you can see, there are substantial amounts of stone still here. Oh, stinging nettles everywhere. This is remarkably clear compared to a lot of these types of castles that I visit. They're a lot more overgrown than this, and some of them you can't even get into. There's a nice bit of corrugated tin there. I bet if I lifted that I'll find an adder or something. So in that case I'm not going to lift it. I'm not here to look at adders, although they would be interesting. I'd like to be able to go round the other side, but I'm not sure it would be able to, because it looks like it's going to be heavily overgrown. I might pop and have a look at Ewyas Harold in a bit, although that's on private land I think, and you can see it from the road, or partly see it there. You can't actually get to it. Yeah, that's quite a distance down there. Looks like it might be a path. You might be able to get down part of it, but I think this will do us. All castles are worth coming and visiting, but this one, because if this was indeed the first castle ever built in England, it's definitely worth a visit. And this is Richard's Castle.